Hey everybody, it's the Coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, is Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, we are at the confluence of the Ohio, Allegheny, and Monongahela Rivers at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The wait is finally over. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis here in the start of a new NFL season, and we kick it off with a bang on Thursday night.
What's interesting about these Thursday night games is oftentimes we hear people say, is it really fair for players to play on Thursday night? But what did we hear from both of these teams going into this one? How excited they were to have the spotlight on their teams, their franchises, the rest of the league watching them go at it.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Roethlisberger. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 19 yards right off the bat, and a quick first down. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. Finds his running back, James Conner. And he'll get it down here to the 43. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
And I think we're all eager to see how this offense responds because we know this is a big spot. National TV game to start the season. The whole league and the whole country watching this one. Last year, though, the Packers, the Bears, neither one of them did a whole lot offensively. A 10-3 final. Let's see if the defenses exert their will early in this one.
To throw again on 2nd down. Roethlisberger. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 33.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
First carry for James Conner. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
6-man. Check curls, check curls, check.
Here's the fullback. This is Roosevelt Nix. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Black 30. Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
They'll try and run for it with Conner. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sidelines thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. They'll try to run it. This is Connor. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Here's Roethlisberger. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown catch as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you get game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a product of NC State. It's Jacoby Brissett. First down, Brissett. This one complete to Devin Funchess. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was looking for Jack Doyle that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Brissett, he's got his target. It's Cobb. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 14. Brissett going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now on 2nd and 13. Brissett, Ebron with it over the middle. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rap.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yard.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Randall Cobb there to make the grab as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Here we go.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of that.
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darius Leonard, the linebacker. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
They'll run here with Mack. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He's got Jack Doyle. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. They go play action here on 1st down. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's 3rd and goal.
Come on.
From the shotgun, it's Brissett. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack.
And that's the kind of stand all defenses are seeking. 3rd and goal, backs against the wall, and they get a monster sack. And now they're going to force them into a field goal. For them, that's a win.
Now Jason Sanders for the field goal try. Sanders' kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. They had it first and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger heading back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger, open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Roethlisberger now off the bootleg. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked by Pierre Desir. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
A run by Mack to start the drive. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Stephon Tuitt came out of Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wonder, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
On 2nd and 12, Brissett. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
2 minutes remaining in the first half, 10-7, our score. A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the season debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, as we look ahead to all the action coming up this opening weekend. Of course, we'll also take a look back at this first half. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to got them the football, but you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Roethlisberger now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Now Roethlisberger to throw. Complete to Washington. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Like 20. Mike. Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. And almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Ben to throw again. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it, so on comes the field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And that hits off the left upright, and it caroms away, no good. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, good to get another season underway. We'll get back to you guys for the second half of the season opener. But first, let's take a look at what's still to come here in the opening weekend of the NFL season. One of the best of the early games, we'll highlight it there. The Giants in for a stern test at home at MetLife Stadium as they'll match up against the Cleveland Browns. Good stuff to follow on the West Coast in the afternoon window, one being out in Oakland, where it'll be the Raiders taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And one final game to highlight. It's Monday Night Football, and they've got a good one this week between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. In our game is Jacoby Brissett, who's led the way on offense in the first half. His guys lead, though by only a field goal. Still anybody's game. As we send it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is taken at his 4. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
22 yards there, a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Brissett now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. They run the draw play with Mack, and it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Complete to Hilton. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
They'll try and run for this with Mack. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Let's go, buddy.
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On third down, it's Connor. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But a short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
On 1st and 10 is Connor. There to stop him was Darius Leonard.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Hey, check Mike 50. Mike is a 50. Check Mike 50. Hey, we got to get the stop here, D.
Play fake to Connor. Now Roethlisberger. That's caught by the 6'8" tight end, Zach Gentry. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Now Ben going to give this one to Connor. The linebacker, Preston Brown, brings him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Number 53, Mike 53. Hey, man, watch the boots, watch the
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Roethlisberger. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. 7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
Come on, QB, come on.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down to close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
They'll start on the ground with Mack. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. The linebacker, Ryan Shazier, there to make the tackle.
Right there, look, 55. Pretty quiet, D. Pretty quiet.
They'll go again here with Mack. And he will double the space they have to work with as they take it from the 2 to the 4. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. Back near his goal line, Brissett. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
He'll return it from the 6.
Come on, fellas.
Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Again, a run with Connor. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have a first down as they get into the ground at the 37. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back now in Pittsburgh. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter of play.
Blue 30. Mike 50. So we got man.
On 1st down, it's Connor. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Block 80. Check 53. Oh, you got deep?
From the 44, Roethlisberger. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Roethlisberger will hand to Connor. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now it's Connor. Oh, no, he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
White 80.
They'll run on 1st down. Connor. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He'll get this one to Switzer. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 12-yard line. Roethlisberger now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Open man is Switzer, complete. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. A gain of 6 there on first. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Roethlisberger, and he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. From 6 yards away, and the Steelers are going to retake the lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
So a big play now as the Steelers will go for 2. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time they surrendered to safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure.
Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Extra point now by Boswell. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. And in the air once more, it's Brissett. Funches has it complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Brissett. Caught by Cobb. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll throw again. Brissett, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt, his second sack of the night.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. But they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is ping your ears back time indeed. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Brissett. Rush coming, and he's taken down. T.J. Watt. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that one.
They're down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. A run with counter on 1st down, going to get about 5. 2nd and 5 coming up. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
2 times. Quarter. 50.
Again, it's counter. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Ready? Black 20. Situation. Let's go.
They run with the fullback Nix. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll run for it with Connor. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Right back to Connor here on 1st. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And this time not quite to the 30. He'll be down at the 31-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and minicamps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
Now the Steelers use the 1st of their 3 timeouts. It's just their 1st. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Oh, Roethlisberger going to throw. toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, but it'll be 2nd and goal. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Again, it's Roethlisberger. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Deontay Johnson. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. And the formula there on the 2-point try to go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to...
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Cameron Hayward in there to make the sack on what will be the final act in this ball game. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this one. Everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for Pittsburgh, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.